My name's McLean. I'm a current VISTA leader here at Transform Mid-Atlantic, and this year previously I served with AmeriCorps NCCC, which stands for the National Civilian Community Corps. I first served in York, Pennsylvania at the York County Food Bank. There we helped with, moving food around, helping operate some of their food drives for people who were food insecure. We helped register people who were food insecure. We helped a lot of warehouse kind of work, but it was very impactful. And then we also worked at a food pantry that was nearby where we were directly serving people who were food insecure with food every week. And that was a really great experience as well. We got to learn a lot about how these kind of nonprofits work together and how they work with different local grocery stores. And yeah, it was very impactful overall and really gave all of us a good idea about what food insecurity actually looks like here in the United States. We went to Bristol Woods and we constructed a nature playground. This meant that it was supposed to stimulate children who are coming to this playground to be better connected to nature, which was, very important to this nature preserve that we were working on. So we would, do a lot of wood carving, carve out these kinds of different play sets for them, got to use a lot of power tools. And then also while we were there in their woods, we got to get rid of a lot of invasive species that were there that were just overgrowing. Afterwards, we went up to Ozaukee County in Wisconsin, and we helped plant a lot of trees with the Ozaukee County Department of Rec, which was awesome. Got to just work with them, got to learn about all these different trees, all the work that they were doing to make their county make the nature in their county more accessible to everyone was really impressive. And you could tell that they cared a lot about the work that they were doing. So that was really great. Afterwards, I went to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yes, 3 projects in Wisconsin. For my third project, myself and my team went to Kenosha, Wisconsin, where we did a lot of tree removal, a lot of invasive species removal, which was very important because in some of their parks there, they were just overgrown with all different kinds of invasives. And that was a lot of fun because got to use a chainsaw, got to, get a lot of experience in using the chainsaw, wood chipper, and just got to see how local governments handle these kind of issues. And the Kenosha, the city of Kenosha was just amazing to us. They, provided for us. They really, wanted an AmeriCorps team there, and they were just incredible. After Kenosha, my team and I went up to Isle Royale, which is a national park in the middle of Lake Superior. There we camped for 5 weeks, and we had to camp on the island and kind of camp near where we were working, where we were getting, clearing up some of the trails that they had there, which just hadn't been cleared up in, years. A lot of their trails can get very overgrown there because the only way to get around is to either boat around the island or to, hike through the island. There's no motorized vehicles that they use there on the actual island. So, rangers themselves have a hard time getting around and doing this kind of work. So that's where teams like AmeriCorps come in, and we really, are the labor that can get a lot of that done. So we were there for 5 weeks and cleared out about 7 miles of trail with just loppers and hand saws. It was intense. And then for the final project, I went to North Dakota and did a lot of making trails. So for a lot of my projects, I was maintaining trails. Now I was actually making a new trail because up there in North Dakota, they had some really bad flooding and a lot of their trails had eroded away. So it was very important for them that these new trails be created to allow, visitors to continue to enjoy their natural, parks and their natural areas, which is very important to North Dakota because they don't have a lot of national parks. They don't have a lot of, it's very much a lot more farmland. So, for them to maintain what little land they do have for the kind of nature preserves, it's very important for them. So definitely one of the skills that I've gained from AmeriCorps is learning how to maintain myself better. And what I mean by that is be more responsible in my everyday life, making my bed, preparing my food, budgeting. Budgeting is huge. It's something I do all the time now. And that's a great skill that I learned while I was serving in AmeriCorps, because, we only had a certain amount of money, and as a team, we had to learn how to budget ourselves. Cooking also, I learned how to cook a lot of really cool new meals. So that's been fun to share that with different people now that I've gotten back. I would say just overall organization skills and having a better working attitude is something that I've learned from my AmeriCorps experience. To have a good service year, you have to really be optimistic about the kind of work you're doing and know that it can get hard sometimes, but having that can-do attitude can really make the difference, and that's something that I've picked up from AmeriCorps. So definitely through some of the work that I did in AmeriCorps, like helping people with food insecurity, it has given me a greater appreciation for what pantries and food banks do, and has allowed me to educate some of my family, friends, peers, about some of those struggles that people with food insecurity have. Because before AmeriCorps, I never really had a lot of interactions with people who are food insecure, or at least I didn't know it. And then after AmeriCorps, I've learned that, people who are food insecure, they, you probably pass by them all the time on the street. You don't really, it doesn't look like a single person. They're your neighbors, they're your friends, they're, people who might not want to be identified, or, might be embarrassed because they're food insecure. And so that's something I've learned, is just be a lot more self-aware of that, and be a lot more, understanding of food insecurity, because, especially with the pandemic, it hit a lot of people hard. And, food banks and food pantries did an incredible job of keeping a lot of people, I would say, keeping them alive through the work that they do. I wish that more people knew the kind of hard work that national service members do on a daily basis, because it's not easy. Speaking right now from as an alumni of NCCC, I wish that people knew that it's a hard program. It's not super easy. You're with people constantly for about 10 months at a time. You're constantly talking with people, constantly you have to learn to live with people. You have to learn to work with these people. And so it's not easy, especially for everyone. And you find at times when now you're not with people 24/7, 7 days a week, that it's kind of weird. You get very into the habit of just being with people all the time. From my experience, it was incredible, and it's still incredible. And, I would suggest that people who, right out of high school, right out of college, think about a year of national service. It can't hurt, and you learn a lot of really valuable skills that, that you may have never learned before. I personally know a lot of people after NCCC who have gone on to pursue, that same kind of work in terms of trail maintenance, in terms of construction. A lot of people learn what they want to do with their life through these AmeriCorps programs. And so I think that's really awesome for people.